Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Shadow from SG TCG, bringing you guys the start of OP8 Locals. Been a week since I uploaded, been a little sick, but let's get right into this. So, I ended up playing Zoro for the start of O8, or for this Locals at least. Playing the animal package, so mainly going to be using a lot of the choppers. So, I open up with the Nami, look the top 5. I end up grabbing the 3-cost chopper from OP4, I believe, where it's on play. You can play out an animal card of power of 3,000 power or less from your hand to the field. So I'm playing more of a low cost card, so I could go mid range because Zoro will buff everything up by 1,000. So I end up passing after that. I have one Dawn up specifically for the event in my hand, so when my opponent does swing, I can trigger it. So he swings 5 at life. I play the event, just shut up and come with me, which lets me look at the top 5 cards and play out one 3-cost or less animal card from the top of my deck. So I end up grabbing the blocker chopper, where it gets its abilities. It's a blocker, but I could also attach 2 Don to it and give something minus 3,000. It was usually played in RP Law, if sometimes. But then after that, I decide to counter. No, I decide to take it. I wanted to see what else I can get from the top of life to potentially play out or, search. Because I am running the Namis or the Dr. Correhas to search the deck, which I end up finding a Nami. So my opponent does leader ability, takes a life, ramps a Don, and he taps 4 and plays Scratchman Apu, which is just a 4/6 vanilla, and passes to me. Here, I end up just swinging for 5. I could have buffed the leader up, but here I'm gonna opt to try to flood the board and put a lot of pressure. And I already have 2 bodies on board by turn 2. And I could have swung out with my board, but instead I'm gonna fill the board, and you're gonna see here. Here he's gonna opt to countering, which is usually what Luffy does because he wants to stay healthy to continue to use his leader ability to ramp. So I tap 3, play out that chopper, which lets me play out another, like I told you, another animal card with a power of 3,000 or less, which I play out that 1-cost vanilla from OP1. I can't say the name. Omicha or something like that, but hits the field, and of course, just 1 Don on Zoro. That thing will be a 4-cost, or not a 4-cost, but a 4K body, and then I attach 1 Don and it can swing compared to 2 Don. And then I pass with 1 Don up because I plan on using the Drum Kingdom event again to flood another body onto the board. And it's great because it's active. So look at top 5, see what I can find. Unfortunately, the only thing I have is that OP01 vanilla card. So ends up playing out. I'm running this one just because I took the list from online, but I kind of like it because on turn 1, if I don't have like a Nami or the event card, you can't even play the event because it's only a counter, but I could at least play this body out and be ready for the next turn to swing out if I don't have anything else. But I end up countering out of the Scratchman Apu attack, and then I take his leader swing. He plays Magellan, and I don -1. I don't think he don minus now that I look back at it, but it's okay. I attach 2 to the chopper. I swing 7 at his leader, and I'm gonna subtract 3,000 to the Scratchman Apu, and I'm swinging for 7 because I have the Don attached to Zoro, which gives my entire board 1,000 power. So he takes the life, and I swing Nami into the Scratchman Apu, so it's a 3-3. He was asking about it, but he's gonna let it go. Not worth saving because then I'm just gonna swing out with the entire board. So I'm swinging for 5, no Don attachment because again it gets the buff, which is great. And I attach a Don and swing for 5 with the 1-cost vanilla. Here he's gonna give me a 2K, I believe. And this just shows you like the amount of pressure that this animal package Zoro can put on your opponent. All I did was build board for 2 turns, and this is basically just turn 3 right now. And I'm swinging out with my entire board, which is now 5 bodies. It's been 5 swings already, or 4, but it's gonna be 5 with my leader. So 6 potential swings could be done this turn. And then here he's gonna give me another 2K. Because again, Luffy really just wants to try to stay healthy for the most part. And he countered out, and I just end up tapping 1 and playing Nami to search top 5, and I grabbed Chopper from OP8. I opted to play the Nami instead of swinging out just because I want to make sure I have another body established to be able to swing, because Purple doesn't have Rush unless he has Rush Kaido, but he could play out like a Polly or anything else to be able to pop a body. So just on that off chance, I wanted to make sure I was set up and had a next turn play, which that Chopper is going to help out if it sticks with continuously playing out bodies every time I swing. So here you're trying to figure out how to go about it. He's only down to 4 cards in hand, which is kind of crazy because Pluffy usually has a big hand of 2Ks, which you saw last turn. He was just dumping them to try to keep his life. So thing here, he's gonna swing 6 at my Chopper, which is the best choice because if he doesn't get rid of this Chopper, I'm gonna continuously swing at him for 7, reduce whatever he swung with on the board by 3, and then just take it out with one of my lower cost swings. So he swung 7 at the other Chopper. I let it go, not worth saving. I'm gonna just play out more bodies this turn anyway. And he ends the turn by playing Kid Blocker, which -1, you ramp it down. I open up playing out the Chopper, which lets me look at top 5, and I can play out an animal with 4,000 power or less. So I am able to play out that Blocker Chopper again. If it sticks on board, it's going to be a menace. Or I could play the Hiking Bear, which you attach it down to him, you could buff another animal on the field by 1,000. But I opted just taking the Chopper, just because if it stays alive, again, it'll be easy to remove his bodies on the board. And then I attach it down to Zoro, which buffs up my field. And in here, I'm trying to think about how I want to go about this. I could kind of lay into him for 4 potential swings, because I could use 2 Dawn to buff up Nami to 5. Or I could play the Rush Zoro and put more pressure onto the board, but I can't swing with the other cards if I do it like that, because I need to attach a Dawn to each of these OP1 vanilla cards. We'll just call him a little lion. So we start 6 at life. I contemplated on swinging at the Magellan here just to get rid of the body, but on KO, Magellan makes me Dawn -2, and I don't want to take the hit on the Dawn yet. I want to be able to play out more bodies next turn, or at least swing out for more higher attack. So he ends up countering out of the 6K swing at life, and I swing for 7 at Magellan this time. I opt to actually swing at it this time because I already played out decent bodies. I'll take the 2 Dawn hit, but if he saves it, he saves it, because then I get him down to 1 card in hand for sure. Because if I swung 7 in life, he would have took the life. Swinging at this Magellan gives me a 2K out of hand. Either way is a win in my eyes, because if he gives me a counter card, then I know next turn I could definitely go for it. And he ends up saving the Magellan. He had the 0 cost event in hand, and he chucked the Douglas Bullet. So now I know no cards in hand. He's playing off top deck only right now. And this is good for me because now I could swing with the bare minimum with all my cards and potentially clear his board, or force him to have to take any of the hits. But he ends up top decking one of the best removal cards in the deck, and it's a Poly. So on play, rest 2 Dawn, ramp an active Dawn, and you get to pop a 4 cost body or less. So he ends up popping the Chopper that would help me with searching and flooding the board, which sucks. That sucks for me. And then after that, he swings 7 at the Blocker Chopper. Unfortunate, because that was going to help me remove anything on his field. And he swings out at the other lion that I had on the field. So he was just board clearing, so I can't put a lot of pressure on him. And he passes to me. I believe now I'm at 9 Dawn. Would have been at 10 if it wasn't for the Magellan, his throwing me off curve. But that was fine with me. I attach a Don to Zoro. I tap 3, play out my Rush Zoro, which is now swinging for 6. Swing at the Magellan. At this point, I don't mind losing 2 Don. I'm at 9. Brings me down to 7, but I don't need to be more or less than that. You know, I can stay in that 9 range and still apply a lot of pressure. So the Magellan goes. My goal here is to try to swing for 6 across the board, because if he decides to block, it's going to get rid of that kid blocker, which is exactly what I want to happen. So I attach 2 Don to that little lion because it's going to swing for 6. If he decides to block with that kid, you know, he's going to have to let it go. I could have swung for 5 here and baited out that kid block, but I didn't think about that until right now. I swung 6 with leader. He blocked with the kid and then gave me a 2K. I did not stick the Don onto the Nami and try to swing for it. I could have, and I could have cleared the kid. I opted to play the chopper and put down the other lion from hand. And I did this because there's a world where he top decks the Kaido, which you're going to see right now is what he does. He's going to be able to remove basically 3 bodies off the board this turn. And if I didn't play anything and swung at the kid, then I would have no board right now, and then I would be in a bad state. So I opted to do this just to have 2 more bodies on the field. And he swung 6 at the Zoro. I counter out to save it, and the only reason why I did that is to bait out another swing, which he ended up swinging the poly at it. So if I didn't, again, he would have been able to clear the entire board, which he still does right here anyway. So it was kind of a waste. I could have kept those cards in hand and searched something else. But it is what it is. So he Don minus with the Kaido, pops a body on the field. It could pop a 6 cost or less, I believe. 5 or 6. And he gains rush. And then he's going to swing 11k at the little line. But again, it's not the worst decision here. If he swung at life, it would have gave me an extra card, but it would not have removed the pressure that's on the field, because I do run a decent amount of rush in this deck. At least 10 cards of rush. I just gotta find them. So I swing 6 at the poly, end up taking the poly. I actually thought about putting all the Don and swinging at the Kaido, but he would have gave me the kid easily. So I swing 6 at life, he takes it. Deciding to use the trigger or not. And then here I'm gonna swing another 6 at life with the Nami. Again, we're just trying to put the pressure on. I swing 7 just to ensure that it goes through, because 2 Don left. You just saw the hand. I have 2 1-cost characters, which I'm gonna do. It's gonna be that little vanilla lion and then the Kureha. Kureha lets me search for a chopper or a Drum Kingdom card. So I end up grabbing the chopper. Don't need it for anything at this point. He needs something to remove my bodies. There's no way he can play the Rush Kaido because he has no life. He won't be able to ramp. And you're going to see here, we start talking about the Don, because I looked at his Don deck and it looks like he has 1 card in his Don, and he should have been at 8 Don, because the Kaido minus is 5. So from 10 he goes to 5. Kid gives him 1, which should leave him at 6. Turn passes, he'd be at 8. So I don't know. We were just talking about it. I thought he was a little bit above, which looks like it, but it is what it is. It doesn't change the fact of what's about to happen. So he ended up playing the 7-drop kid, where on play Don -1 buffs his leader by 1,000, and when he attacks Don -1, give your leader plus 1,000. So it's a great card to use in Luffy. I used to use it in RP Luffy as well. That deck is crazy with Whitebeard in him. It's a nasty combo. But yeah, here you see us just talking about the Don until we were able to figure it out. We just said, fuck it, it is what it is. Again, it's just a local, but at a big event, you want to make sure the Don minusing is done correctly, which, like, again, with the Magellan, I missed. So he clears the 2 bodies on the board, and it is what it is. Passes to me. I end up drawing Diable Jambe. I attach it to leader, swing out, and win. That's game. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down what you guys thought. Catch you on the next one.